Hello, I am in my studio right now. I have a bunch of stuff to get done before the Small Business Saturday pop-up that we're doing this weekend. I've just got so many like random small tasks to do that kind of are all of equal importance. So I wanted to take a little break to record something just to talk about thoughts that have been swirling for me during this time so far. We are in the thick of holiday season, but I think that being like so deep in the holiday flurry, I have just not, I don't know, this year feels a little bit, I just feel like I've got like a little bit of holiday blues so far this year. I'm lucky to even have this job, and I am really grateful for that. But I also want to just put voice to some feelings that I'm having, because I have a feeling that like other makers and small business owners are feeling the same things, and I don't want people to feel alone in those thoughts. So that's why I'm making this video. I hope that, I have a good weekend at this pop-up. I've got a couple of other markets in December, and hopefully sales go well and I can feel a little bit reassured by that. But I think up until this point, I've just been feeling a lot of overwhelm and coming out of a year that has been pretty slow. Like, this has not been a great sales year for most makers. That puts so much pressure on this holiday season. Already the holidays is when we try and make the bulk of our income for the year, but to be coming off of a slow year, it's just like, it feels that much more important, and also kind of unlikely. It's like, I don't feel super optimistic that this holiday season will make up for the sales that I didn't have the rest of the year. Just sort of like acknowledging that I am stressed, and not like stressed because there's so much to do, which I think is a normal stress for the holiday season, but stressed because I have a lot of expectations that I'm afraid I won't live up to, and I need to work on that. Expectations sort of are the root cause of a lot of disappointment, so I'm working on adjusting those. But I also wanted to talk about a couple of things that I'm going to be working on to help me with the feelings that I'm having around this time of year. The first thing is something that my coach taught me. I have a coach through BetterUp that I really love. And on our last call, I said to her that like, I have this mountain of things that I need to do, and I just feel paralyzed because of how many things there are, and then I end up doing nothing. One of the things I really love about having a coach is that they're great at calling you out on the lies that your brain is telling yourself. And so she said in response to that, "Are you actually doing nothing?" Which, of course, the answer is no. I am still getting out orders. I've organized this pop-up market for myself and 3 other vendors. I've promoted the market. I'm making vlogs. So she suggested that when I am feeling like I can't do anything, I'm not productive, I'm failing at my to-do list, is to make a list of things that I have done. And maybe that's just for the day, or maybe in the past month. What have I done? That I think having it on paper, that is in fact a lie, that I am doing things, will help me with just challenging that thought when it comes in. Those like intrusive thoughts that are so negative and critical need to be called out. So I really like that idea, and I have already used it. We just had this call, but I've already used it once or twice. Even if I'm like in the car and I can't actually write it down, I pause and just sort of like think through a list of things that I've done for the day. And that does feel good. It's reassuring, and I hope that's a practice you can incorporate too. Another big thing for me is clarifying what I actually have control over. For example, this market that we're doing, this little pop-up market on Saturday, the like middle schooler in me is just always afraid that people won't show up, that I'll do something and it'll be crickets. And if it's just me, I think I can cope with that pretty well. But when there are other vendors that I feel responsible for, other vendors who have taken the time to pack up all their stuff and come set it up in our space, I feel really responsible for their success and for them feeling like it was worth it to do this event. So because that added pressure is there, I'm very nervous about how many people are going to show up on Saturday. Yes, I can control how much I promote it and the effort I put into promoting the event. But beyond that, I cannot control whether or not people show up. I cannot make people get in their cars and drive over here. I can't make people put it in their calendar. I can do my best to remind them that this is happening and that we'd like to see them there. But beyond that, I don't control whether or not people show up. That one is hard to come to grips with because I really weigh my value on what I can provide other people, which is, again, not healthy, but I know it's there. And if I can't provide these vendors with a good experience that was worth their time, especially on a holiday weekend, it's like this is already kind of a hectic weekend for people, I'm just going to feel bad. But I have to remind myself that I'm doing the most that I can. And if it doesn't turn out the way I want it to, sometimes there's just nothing I can do about that. And sort of on that same note, another thing that I'm doing, my third sort of like tip, not even like, I don't even feel like it's a tip because I don't have like, these are all things I'm trying myself. I don't know for sure how easy it's going to be to implement or how much of a difference it's going to make. But something that I am also trying to do on top of these other two things is to remind myself that my value does not depend on my ability to do things perfectly. I feel like I probably need to write that down and post it all over my house and the studio and my car, wherever I can look at it, because that is, honestly, that's something that I'm just recently realizing that I do. Like, I've called myself a perfectionist for a long time, but I don't think that I've connected what that actually means in terms of how I think about myself and how I think about where my value comes from. And now that I've realized that I'm assuming that I have to be perfect in order to be valuable to people, saying it out loud really brings into light like how flawed that thought process is. And if I had a friend who felt that way about themselves, I would be heartbroken for them. Like, of course, that's not why we love you. If my kids felt that way, I would do whatever I could to help them not feel that, because it's not only is it not realistic, it's not healthy. It's just not, that's not how we should define ourselves, because it makes it so unattainable. And therefore, you will always give yourself reason to think you don't have value. I will be trying to find ways to push myself beyond that thought process and remind myself that I have plenty of value outside of perfectionism or perfect outcomes, because again, I can't control the outcome. And my hard work has value, and my rest has value, and all of the things that I don't think most of us are taught, especially depending on which generation you're a part of. So those are things that like I gotta work on, and I'm hoping will help me enjoy more of this holiday season as opposed to just like getting through it. I don't want every holiday for the rest of, I don't know, as long as I own this business, to feel like this like slog that I have to get through. I would like to have it be a mix of good stress and joy, because I really do. Before starting this business, this time of year was very joyful for me, and I want that to still be present even as I manage the logistical side of getting everything done that I need to get done. So if you needed to hear this, I hope that some of this resonated. You all have value to me. It's really warms my heart to see people watching these videos and interacting with them and leaving me comments. Like, it really, if nothing else, like it really lifts my spirits to see that. And so please, thank you so much for any of you who have, I don't know, just supported me in that way, as we're all sort of like alone watching these videos or making these videos. I think that those moments really help me feel connected to all of you, and I appreciate that. I appreciate you. I hope that you have a lovely holiday, or had, depending on when I post this. And I appreciate you watching. I hope to see you in the next video.